But let's start here. LeBron James.
LeBron James.
So,
LeBron James.
You know, when I told you I was picking the Hornets, you remember you gave me the stank eye last night.
I did.
Remember that?
I did.
And everybody had them going to the finals. I'm a hater. Oh, my God. What? Blah, blah, blah. Forget what I was saying. Like, hey, who's going to play defense? Who's going to be the rim protector? And guess what? Even the Hornets figured that out. Dude, there's no rim protector, right?
Mm-hmm.
They went at Luka. They went at him.
That's every team's going to do that.
Right.
I mean, yeah.
That's what I'm saying.
We all know that from last year, but they got really exposed in the playoffs. It was like, no, you might drop 60 on us.
Well, we're going to get 70.
We're going at you.
So, you know, the crux of it is that they lost.
Mm-hmm.
And LeBron had a chance to tie the game twice in the final, final minute or whatever, right?
Yeah.
Final 30
Mm-hmm.
seconds or whatever. And he missed them both. And then all of a sudden, from the two misses came the stat of the year. Kelvin, when you saw the stat, what did you think before I even say what the stat is? What did you think?
You're saying if you would have asked me prior to me ever knowing the stat, I definitely would have thought it was better than that.
Okay.
By the way, the stat we're talking about is LeBron's run with the Lakers and last game-winning, game-tying shots.
So he's had 30 shots at it, right? Which is a game-tying or go-ahead field goal, 5 seconds left in either the fourth quarter or overtime. So it's a finite, but it's enough sample size. Would you say that's fair?
Oh, yeah, that's without a doubt.
That's a big number.
You
Some people are like, oh, well, it's so specific. Okay, 5 seconds and 30 tries at it. That's a lot of tries since he's been with the Lakers.
It is very specific, but because the number, though, 30 is still a lot.
It's not 3.
So it's not 5 seconds and 5 shots. All right,
right.
That wouldn't really move me anyway. Whoever
anybody who was under a rock didn't know what the number is. He's 1 for 29.
That's crazy.
Not clutch.
That is crazy.
As far as the Lakers are concerned, and that is a staggering number, especially since, for the most part, LeBron can take the ball to the basket almost all the time and get a foul or whatever. He doesn't always have to shoot from the perimeter. I don't care what defense they got on you. He can just drive past, still go past people for a basket late in the game. And so obviously the thought was, is LeBron clutch or not? And what do you think? Now, your thought before this was he's clutch.
Yeah, well, because I would have
questioned it a little bit.
Yeah, well, the question for me or the context would have to be: are we saying in a purple and gold jersey or the duration of his career?
No, we're talking about
because for me, LeBron,
they got a championship.
Yeah,
and he's had a number of chances here in L.A. and it's been an uneven. Would you admit it's an uneven Lakers run? Because they did make the playoffs a couple times. They got the play-in. They've been knocked out early. They went to the Western Conference Finals.
It's been a mixed bag of nuts, but overall, I think even he would agree it's been disappointing.
Right, not nearly.
Meaning he got the ultimate thing, which was a ring. So he's forever
but
cemented
he got Anthony
in that.
Davis. And
but that's where you would want more. If I told you I had Anthony Davis in his prime, that's the other key component to this. LeBron still in the twilight, but still prime-ish the first few years, right? You know what I mean? Because obviously at this point, he's 40. I don't expect him to be what he used to be. But I got prime AD, I got prime LeBron, and some pieces here or there. I would think that'd be enough that we got to the finals again, even if we lost. But we got to the finals again, at least one more time. So I would have expected that. But as far as the clutch factor, so here's the thing with LeBron. I think overall he has been clutch in his career. And the numbers go that way as well because when you look up the numbers, really only it's Jordan, he, and Kobe when it comes to clutch shots in the duration of their career and even game winners. So Michael Jordan has the most at 9 when you're talking about actual buzzer beaters and game winners.
Which is not surprising. When we talk about Michael Jordan and all, people always talk about, oh, you're just talking about because he's 6-0. No, it's not because he's just 6-0.
No, that's why
he led the league in scoring for 10 straight years. Look at all the defensive awards he won.
That's why he is the greatest basketball player of all time. I completely agree with that. If you ask who has the most in their tool belt, that's LeBron, meaning just the best as far as you can do all of these things, that's LeBron. But Mike's the GOAT. I don't argue that. So here's Mike. Let's look at the stats. Michael Jordan has the most game-winning shots in NBA history at 28. He has 9 actual game buzzer beaters. Kobe is second with 8 when it comes to literally, and the game is over. LeBron is second with 17 game-winning shots, and he's tied for third with Paul Pierce for 7 actual buzzer beaters.
How many?
7 actual buzzer beaters.
But see, here's the other thing too, and this is where LeBron gets hurt. The longer he plays, the worse those numbers. Because if you look at that, you say Michael had 9 buzzer beaters in 13 years.
Yeah, was it 14, 14? Yeah. The only counter to that would be the other 2 guys on that list. So if you took the 4 guys, 3 of the 4 played a long time. Paul Pierce, Kobe Bryant, LeBron. Jordan is the anomaly in only playing that years.
But I'm saying,
the longer he goes in anything could potentially make it where the numbers sound skewed, right? Like he only won 4, but he played 20. Let's say he goes another 2 more years, 24 years.
He played 24 years, but he only won 4 championships.
So that would sound crazy out of context. I agree with that.
And that's what happens when you play a long time, is that you start to look and go, well, is that really impressive? I'll give you one real quick. Baseball pitcher, Tommy John, pitched 25 major league seasons.
Yep.
Of course, the Tommy John surgery left-handed pitcher.
Is he the underwear too?
No. I know. I thought that too.
Because I might even have some on right now. Not y'all cared about my underwear, but
no.
Who is that? Who stole that name?
Somebody
he getting some licenses or something?
Somebody else named Tommy John.
I was scared I was going to have to get a surgery when I put this underwear on. Patrick, I thought they was going to have to, you put the underwear on, we got to cut your elbow.
Hey, but Tommy John played 25 years, and then if you average out how many wins.
Like 8 or something?
Like he averaged like 11 wins. So he's not in a Hall of Fame, and he claims that he thinks he should be because he has a high total of wins, but it's just not because he pitched so long. And that's where people go, well, you should have 280 wins. You played 25 years.
Yeah. Here's my to put a button on LeBron and clutch for me. LeBron James is clutch. There are people I would place above him. Michael Jordan obviously being one. Reggie Miller for me, if you're saying, hey, last second shot, Reggie Miller, Larry Bird. There's a handful of guys. But absolutely, I believe LeBron is clutch. The issue with LeBron has been, and this is key in life, people's first time, their first perception of you is often how they'll then think of you, period. And so he came up short a few times early, or he didn't even come up short in the sense of he missed a shot. He just passed the ball because it was the right basketball play. They triple teamed me. Guy was open in the corner. Why would I not pass it to that guy?
Yeah, but it wasn't always triple team.
No, I'm agreeing. So that hurt him in the early phase. But then he had a run that middle 2/3 of his career where he was hitting buzzer beaters, running through people in the playoffs. He has 5 actual buzzer beaters in playoff games, another clutch statistic. I mean, so he became clutch, but we hold those first few years against him. And I was taught that in life.
There's a back end now.
Now we
got a back end.
But even with Jordan, like I judge you by like the peak of your, like I don't judge Wizards Jordan.
Nah, the longer, you can't do it like that. And I'm going to tell you why. Because then are you not counting his points when he passed Kareem? And you're counting all the stats, and he's going to lead in everything. So you count that, but you're not counting.
But I'll tell you, that's a great question.
Okay, so
and
you're
here's
not
my
counting
answer.
the 1 for 29?
And here's my question, my answer to that. There's a certain point, even Kobe Bryant, for example, you become a made man to me, whereas you can only add to the war chest.
You can take away.
I can't take away. Like Kobe Bryant, I don't care if he had.
If Tom Brady, and here's the example, the 9 years he didn't win, if that was the end of it, you would not look at him the same way because he won the 3 early in his career, would you?
No, of course not.
No, but that's what I'm saying.
But I'm saying he couldn't have hurt himself. He only can add, is my point. So what you're missing is...
No, I'm saying if. It's the same thing. Patrick Mahomes is in the same boat. Great start. Mm-hmm. If he doesn't win again, he plays 8 or 9 years, you won't have the same feel for him if he goes that many years at the end where you go, man, Patrick Mahomes really fell off. He hasn't won in 9 or 10 years. I think that can hurt you.
But the difference is Patrick Mahomes is obviously right now still so young. I'm saying at a certain point, Michael Jordan, Kobe, Tom Brady, there's certain people, I'm going to cut you off and like, all right, I don't need to see anymore. I know where you are in legacy. You can only add to that because I'm not going to judge Wizard. I'm not going to judge the last 4 years of Kobe per se. I'm not going to, you know what I mean? Like there's a certain point where I literally know what you're doing at that age.
There are people look at some of those Kobe years. They didn't make the playoffs all the time when he had those teams, when he got, they gave up a 3-1 lead. You remember that to the
Suns?
To the Suns. Remember they had them beat. But anyway, 877-99 on Fox. I'm just going to say no.
So you don't think LeBron's clutch? No. You don't view him as clutch?
And there's the whole thing. When I think of his career, seriously, like you just talked about earlier his career, and just a visual, not looking at stats.
Right.
Who do I want to have the ball at the end of the game? It's not LeBron James.
For me, there are a handful of guys historically over him, but there's not many modern day I would take over him.
Okay, so that's the question.
You get what I mean?
So
Bird, sure.
So
Mike,
we
sure.
talked about the other day with Steph. I talked to NBA guys, and I said, if you need a basket, and everybody does not pick Steph. Like they'll say, no, not Steph at the end. At the end of a game, do you want LeBron to have the ball to take the last shot? Do you think he's clutch or not? That's what we're talking about here on The Odd Couple.